It's always a pleasure to be here. You should just know the Wednesday night shiur is by us, Kodesh Kodashim. Every shiur is like that. But this is the one where a person has to know he comes out with lifelong lessons that he takes forever and ever and ever. And today, I said a halakha in the morning that I'd like to discuss with everybody, because people in the crowd, in the kahal, and Kadash was here, they're saying, how many percentage people do this? What do? I read the halakha this morning. Listen, Eddie, this is for you, Eddie. Bedibur ketzad. It's speaking about respecting your father and your mother. How do you speak to your father and mother? How do you speak to your father and mother? You know how the halakha says, this is Chamitzhak Yosef, Yaku Yosef, this is what he writes. Bedibur, when you speak to your mother and father, Yedaber im horav, benachat ubelashon raka ubechabod. What? Kemedaber el melech. Those are the key words. When you speak to your parents, how do you speak to them? You speak to them like you're speaking to a king. Now let me explain to you something. Now how could you imagine that? I always say the story with Trump. Listen to the story. I had a guy, and he would never take a haircut. You know, I told you the story, right? He had a haircut, but, you know, I was like, you know, why don't you take a haircut? Why don't you take a haircut? Okay. No, don't worry. At least, I told him, at least for Shabbat. Yes. 2 months passed by, 3 months passed by. His hair was so messed up. I was like, Shabbat, what Shabbat? So, Rabbi, don't worry. All of a sudden, one day, they had a meeting that everybody could come and this, that. If you pay a certain thing, you go to the thing. All of a sudden, I see this fellow, and he has an entire nice haircut. I said, what's going on? He's like, I was one of the people who paid to get invited to this Trump event. I'm making sure when I take a picture with him, you have to pay a certain amount of money to get the picture. You know exactly, Kadash knows exactly, go to him, he knows exactly how much. He took the picture, and you see him, perfect, the haircut, perfect. So what's going on over here? For Trump, yeah. And for Shabbat, he can't take a haircut for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to look good. Rabotai, when you're speaking to a Trump, you know how to speak. You know, my dear President, Mr. President, how are you, Mr. President? How you doing? Right? You ever see the people, how they talk to him? Like the real people who respect him? Oh my God, how are you? You know? And that's not even a king. That's not even a king. A king, they'll chop your head off if you speak with disrespect. He's telling you, Yaku Yosef, the way you're supposed to speak to your parents is the way you speak to a king. Kibud Avayim. How do you speak to your mother and your father? The problem is, what's the problem? Why don't every person in the world speak to their parents like a king? Is it true? Somebody told me he's screaming at his father, don't wake me up. Who do you think you are? You're screaming at your dad. You know, as a kid, he wants to wake up Sunday morning. His father wakes him up. The kid's screaming at his father, Dad, get out of here. That's how you speak to your father? Are you kidding me? That's how you talk? I don't care how tired you are. I don't care. What happened to the respect? Why is it that sometimes a person might not speak to his father and mother with the utmost respect? With the utmost respect. Why? What's the pshat? I remember when I was in Israel, I remember Rabbi Yosef, the chief rabbi that's now, I was eating by his house. I ate by his house Friday night, Leil Shabbat. And we prayed in his shul, Har Nof. He had a shul Har Nof. And Cham Vadia, he lived over there. Cham Vadia lived like a block and a half, two blocks. And all of a sudden I was like, wait. I told his son, wait, don't you live here? Like this is your house. Like where are you going another 2 blocks? Like it was like 2 long blocks, right? So he says, every Friday night, my father visits his father to wish him Shabbat Shalom. And then he comes home and he starts the meal. Kibud Avayim. Kibud Avayim. Every single Friday night he does it without fail. This is what it is. They say B'Shem the Chazon Ish, his mother, anytime how's the Chazon Ish doing, boom, right away. Kibud Avayim, right away. No such thing. What happened nowadays, sometimes a person might not speak to his father with the utmost respect. And by the way, if you're a parent, you should train your kids when they're young how to respect it. You should. Because guess what? When they get older, and they're 16, 17, 18, and they have their license, and all of a sudden you have one car in the house, don't expect your son to say, Dad, why'd you take the car? Where's the car? You're telling me, my car, you're telling me, where's the car? How come why'd you park so far? Are you kidding me? Tzaddik, you can join us, Tzaddik. You can join us. Come join us. Huh?
I can't right now.
Okay.
When is your next time? When is
No problem. Next week, 8:30. No problem. 8:15, you come back.
Same day?
Yeah, same day. Todd, I'll take a chicken, huh? Very good. No joke. Give him a chicken. Yeah? I'm serious. Give him. Take whatever you like.
Thank you so much.
All right, give him some Sprite. Make him feel comfortable.
Hang
a poster. Yeah, give it. You put it over there. He's the guy by over. He'll do it. Okay. No, give it to Kadash, please. Thank you. All right. Thank you. All right. Any case, let's go on. So now, what happens? What happens is like this. What is it that we need to do in order to? Again, by the way, I told you this is very important. Parents, when their kids are still young, you can still always do it at any age, but especially when they're young. I know of a family that anytime the father and mother come home, all the kids, like the father comes home, all the kids stop whatever they're doing. They come with respect to the father. Hi, Dad. How are you? How was your day? They stop everything. They all stand up. Daddy's home. I know this family. They stand up. They respect the father. They go. Even what he told me. Even some of his kids come to the door. Hey, Dad. How was your day? Before the father leaves, the father trained them. Before the father leaves, if the kids are up, they'll have a great day. It's training, right? Train them to have respect. That's the right way, right? In any case, how do we gain that? And now with this, I want to explain to you something that it says in the halakha. That the halakha says you have to respect your parents, not only by speaking with them, but even in your mind. You hear what's going on over here? Even in your mind, you have to respect your parents. How are you respecting your parents in your mind? You ready, Isaac? Listen. He writes over here, Kibud b'machshava. Ketzad. How? Shelo yebazem v'libo. Don't think in your mind, my father, he's not a successful man. The way he dresses, come on, Dad. I wish my father could dress up like a dignified man. Always a schlep. This is out, that's out, this, that. And the son or the daughter is thinking in their mind, I wish my father or my mother was like this. Either successful, maybe more in business, or this. Guess what? You assume to think like that. Because in your mind, it says, the halakha says, Yedameh be'enav shehem gedolim v'chashuvim v'nechbedei haaretz. In your mind, you have to feel in your mind, they're the greatest people in the whole entire world. Even though compared to people, they might not be the most dignified people. Compared to the community, they might not be the greatest people in the community. But in your mind, you know what your mind have to say? They are the most important people of my life. And that, he writes, this is the ikar of the kavod. What's the ikar kavod? The ikar means the main respect is in your mind. Understanding that your parents are the most hashuv out there in the world. In your eyes, they're the most hashuv. They're the king and the queen. My father is king. My mother is queen. And it doesn't make a difference no matter how other people view them in the community or in the world. You have to view them like that. And he writes, that's the ikar kavod. Why is that ikar kavod? You know why? Because when you view your parents like that, you'll never speak disrespectful to them. You'll never speak this. How do you have the audacity to tell your father, speak to him like a how? I just don't understand. My brain doesn't fathom that. Somebody tells me, Rabbi, but you don't understand. I work with him. It's how hard it is when you work with. I understand. But at the end of the day, you have to know in your mind, your father and your mother in your mind, you have to feel as if they are the greatest of the greats. This past week, my parents went, they were going on a flight, and they asked me, my father said, if you want, you want to take us to the airport. So I said, sure, no problem. When's your flight? It was an early flight, and it was like I had to be by my parents at 4:30 a.m. That means I'm waking up about 4:30 a.m. to be there. And now my heshbon, in my mind, this is what my heshbon was, and I'm making heshbonot, 4 o'clock in the morning is early, early. And you say something, wait, you do all the tirutzim, all the thumbs come out, all the thumbs already. Every hadush, you have all of a sudden, you give the biggest hakam, right? What happens? The thumbs are coming out. If I wake up at 4:15 in the morning, then what? My whole day is going to get shot. So what does it do? You say, my learning. I got it, learning. I got it. If I wake up at 4 in the morning, take my father and my mother to the airport, what's going to happen? I'm going to come back. I'm going to pray my whole learning. The whole day is going to get ruined. This is my hashbon. So what did I do? It's a very big Tamil Hakam that I'm in touch with. Very, very big Tamil Hakam that I'm in touch with. And I sent him a message. And I want you to read with you. Actually, the truth is, he sent me back the message, but I believe it's in voice note. But I want to, if I can play it for you, I'll play it for you. And this is what he says. He might have written down. Let me see if I can get it down. Here. He writes like this. He says, here, I want to try if I can play it. Here. He writes like this. He says, this exact thing that we said tonight, he writes me back. What did he write? He says that when you yourself, here, I want to play it. Here.
Run to take him.
Everybody hear this? Here, listen.
Run, say the door because.
Listen, I'll read it. Shh.
Run to take him.
Run to take him.
Run, say the door because.
Why? Listen.
If someone else takes you forward, your father won't be as comfortable as
you had to understand something.
Don't worry, the Moshe even will call you. It's a chesed.
First of all, you have to know, I'll just explain. You have to know that in your mind, here's what he tells me. In your mind, the most important people in your life is your father and your mother. That's the most important people in the life is your father and mother. Why? Because they created you. They're part with the Shekhinah, the partners. Hashem, your mother, your father. And therefore, when you respect them, you're respecting Hashem himself. That's how important it is. When you respect Kibud Avayim, you're respecting the most important people in your life. Why does the halakha say you have to look at your parents like the king and queen as the most respected people in the world? Why? Because in all your eyes they are. Why are they? Because they created you. So how do you have any disrespect to talk to your father in any disrespectful manner? You could do it. Now that you know all this, you could do it. If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for your father and mother, you wouldn't be here. And don't tell me, I would have had a different father. This is already, how do you say, kafut tova it's called. Because you're doing the thumbs again. You're being kafut tov, you're being this grateful person. You have to understand, your father, your mother, they created you. They're the most important people in your life. Kibud davim, the highest level. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do, no problem. You want to pick up 4 in the morning? No problem. Tell me where and when, I'll be there. Oh, you're coming back from there? You want to pick? No problem. I'll be there. No problem. I'm very excited to be there. Why? Because you know who you're picking up. You're not just picking up your father and mother. You're picking up the people who created you. Now you understand when you speak to them. Now you understand when you kiss your father's hand on a Friday night table, on the Shabbat table. When you walk out, just kissing your father's hand. Da barakah, barakah. What are you doing? You're like, hey, barakah, baba. No. I'm kissing the one hand that literally created me. Do you know how much gratitude you have to have? That's why the Kibud Avayim, you get long life. That's why if you look at the 10 Commandments, everybody knows. Where is it now? Aseret Dibrot? On the same side is Ben Adam L'Makom and Ben Adam L'Habero. Where's Kibud Avayim? Where the side is of Ben Adam L'Makom, the side of where the mitzvot of respecting you to God. That's the same. That's the commandments on that side. Why? Because that's what you're doing. You have to have the hashivut. Now, what does that have to do with this parasha? I'm going to read a pasuk that you never picked up on, and now tonight you're going to pick it up. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'm going to read you. Ready? It says, in Perek Nun, Pasuk Yudalid. Yosef and his brothers, Kol Alim Ito, Likbor et Aviv. They went to Canaan to bury Yaakov. Achare Kobro et Aviv. It says over here in this Pasuk, they went back to Egypt after they buried their father. Now, what's the Hidush of that? Listen, Kedash, please listen. Again, it says, Vayechi Yosef Mitzrayma. They went back to Egypt. Everybody went back to Egypt. After what? After they buried their father. Yeah? After they buried their father. After they buried their father. That's what it says twice. Please, look again. They buried their father. They went back to Egypt after Likbor et Aviv. Achare kobro et Aviv. Isn't that redundant? What's this double lashon over here? Again, I'll read it to you. If you read it in English, this whole thing is very hard to understand over here. What is it saying over here? It's saying Yosef returned to Egypt, he and his brothers, and all who had gone up with him to bury his father after he buried his father. You just told me after he buried his father. After they buried his father, they went back after burying their father. Does it make sense? I'm going to tell you the sense right now with a story. There's a fellow that lives in, he lives out of town. His parents live in town, right? Live in town. He lives out of town, live in town. So the parents tell me, when does my son visit me? Anytime he has a wedding in the town, he goes out of town, he goes into town, he goes to the wedding, he stops by his parents. Now, you would say, great guy. He is a great guy. But what is his parents thinking in his mind? Only if he has a wedding, do he come visit me? But just to come visit me, and only just to visit me? I don't know. Would he? Maybe. When he has a wedding, I'll stop by. It's when you tell them that, even though the son, if he's smart, he doesn't say, I have a wedding, that's why. He doesn't say that. Why are you here? He said, because I had a wedding. No! He's supposed to tell me, why are you here? I'm here just to see you. What else am I here for? Because that's what you're here for. Is it true or not true? It's true. I also have a wedding. You understand what's going on? You understand the hashbon, how you're doing it? Because the second you go ahead and you tell your parents, by the way, I'm here because I had a wedding and this, that. So what do they think in their mind? You don't respect me. You respect your friend because you have a wedding. So you came back for the wedding because you have to go to respecting. But for me, kibud avayim, what do we chop live over here? But the Eved, but Agav, also I'll sneak in another mitzvah. I'll throw in another mitzvah. They kibud avayim. I'll throw another mitzvah here, throw a mitzvah there. You understand what's going on? That's why the Torah says it double. Why does it say kobro atavi, kobro ataviv? Because this time the brothers, there's only one purpose that they went. Solely and only to bury their father. That's it they did. Even though they could have done other things in Canaan at the time. Don't forget, they lived in Canaan. They moved to Egypt. They lived in Canaan. It could be that they had other things they could have done in Canaan. But if they would have done those things, it would have been a lack of respect. Imagine they bury their father in Canaan and they wait there. All right, boys, just let's finish. Let's get the few packages that we have in the house, and then we'll go back. So it's a lack of the kavod that you're having for your father, because it's not a direct kavod that you're giving the burial. You understand what I'm saying? Oh no, it's very important because parents get upset. They're looking at this kid. I raised you. Now you're a father. You have Baruch Hashem, a whole family. Now you're coming to visit me. When do you come to visit me? You only come to visit me when you had a wedding. But if you don't have a wedding, you want to come visit me? And the son has to be smart enough not to just tell his parents that. He has to say, I came to visit you. I came to visit you. Give them the right respect that they deserve. Because it's true. You did come to visit them. And Agav, you had a wedding. That's the way it should be. Yeah, it's important to go to the wedding. We're not saying that, but respecting your parents, you have to understand what it is. And in life, unfortunately, I said it halakha today in the morning. And one guy, he was the witness. He was here in the morning. One guy came up to me and said, how many percentage of people speak to their parents like they speak to the king and the queen? He's right. When are we going to wake up and start speaking to our parents like a king and queen? When are we going to wake up and think of our parents, no matter how the community views your parents? How do you view your parents? Your parents are the most important people in your entire life. You look at them, you view them as, wow, these are my parents. And no matter how they dress, and no matter how anybody views them, doesn't make a difference. One time they came to Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach. There was a guy that was getting very religious. And he came to Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach and he says, Rabbi, I have a question. What's his question? His question is, am I chayav to respect my parents because they mehalel Shabbat and they eat non-kosher? Am I still obligated to mehayev to do the kibud avim for my parents if they mehalel Shabbat and they don't keep Shabbat and they don't keep kosher? Shlomo Zalman Auerbach starts crying. This is your question? Your question should be, how can I respect my parents even though they're doing that? Which way? How should I do it? They're your parents, man. They're your parents. We forgot already. That's it. You forgot everything they did for you. You remember you were young. Who do you think cleaned you when you were a baby? No, all of a sudden you're a big boy now. Everything. Who do you think? You forgot about that? You forget about everything that your parents did? How many times did your mother take you to school? You remember that? And then one time she calls you for a ride on a Friday afternoon. By the way, I have one errand. Can you pick up the chicken from the butcher? Oh, Mom, busy. Why now? Come on. Right before Shabbat. Come on. Now you're calling me. You can't call me the day before. Thursday night I was already out shopping. You have to call me the day I'm ready. What do you mean? That's the way you talk to your mother? Don't forget she took you every single time to school. How many times did your mother take you to school? Tell me. How many times? A lot. And then don't forget that when you get older and you start driving and she asks you for something, don't forget that. How many times your father supported you? Your whole life, whatever you need. Huh? Everything. And all of a sudden, how you act towards it. And that's what the Torah is telling you. When you're giving the respect to your parents, the way you give it, learn from the brothers of Yosef. They didn't do anything else. They went specifically, it says twice in the Pasuk, they went to bury their father and they came back from burying their father. They did nothing else. Why? Because if they did, it would have showed lack of respect. Because the respect is straight. I could do other things. I'm burying my father in Canaan. They're going to bury my father. Very good. But guess what? I'm only burying and I'm coming back to show the kavod of my father. Even though he passed away, I'm burying it, I'm coming right back, because that's the kavod. Imagine right now, heaven forbid, it should never happen to no one. Imagine right now, a person has to go bury his father. He goes to Eretz Sahel, and as he's in Israel, Agav, let me pick up, I need a few things for what are you doing? What are you doing? There's a lack of kavod. If you do anything else but that, you're lacking of the kavod. Understand? You understand what the brothers are teaching us over here? This is the kavod that we have to do. We have to remember this for life. We have to remember just one time. When you're speaking to your parents, you're speaking to them like a king and queen. Why? In your mind, you have to have that right respect. In your mind, no matter how many people view them in a different mind, doesn't make a difference. In your mind, they're the holiest people in your life. Now, that was one part of the shiur of Kibud Avayim. We can really stop it. There's a second part. We'll do it. We'll do both. Today we'll do both. We'll do the second part. Second part, yeah? Second part, I want to tell you something. This is very important for every person in their life, whether you're a mother, you're a wife, you're a student, you're a Tamid Hacham. This is very important. And that is, who represents, there's always Yisachar and Zevulun, who represents Torah itself? Who? Yisachar. Yisachar. Now the beracha, that when you look at the beracha that Yisachar has, you have to see what the beracha is. You ready? You guys ready? Hey, listen to this. I want to read it. You know the beracha. What's the beracha? Vayar et menucha kitov, vayet shechmo lesbo. Right? What does it say? Vayar menucha kitov v'darat zikinaim vayet shechmo lesbo. He sees menucha is good. Yisachar is saying, representing Torah, and what is he saying? Should we divide the shiur and do it another shiur and do the same thing? Okay, we'll do it. Again, he says over here, he says that the menucha he saw was good. You know what it says to learn Torah? You know what it says? It says, Adam ki amud ba'ohel. I remember when I was getting a beracha from Talmidei Chachamim when I was younger. I was yeshiva baka early years. I remember I would go to the rabbi, give me a beracha. You know what the Gdolim would tell me? For Torah, you got to work hard. You want Torah? You want Torah? Very good. You got to work hard. 1 second. Yisachar represents Torah. He says he saw menucha was great. What do you mean? There's no menucha. It says Talmidei Chachamim en lehem lo menucha b'olam hazeh v'lo b'olam haba. That's what it says in Masechet Berachot. What does it say? For a Tamid Hacham, Amar Chiyah bar Ashi, Amar Talmidei Chachamim en lehem menucha lo b'olam hazeh v'lo b'olam haba. There's no menucha this world or the next world. Right? Because in this world he's always working, and the next world he's going from higher and higher. They take him to one Gan Eden. Oh, you learn Torah. Wow, next Gan Eden, next Gan Eden, next Gan Eden. Right? So when it comes to Torah, it's a constant work. How is it called menuha, at rest? Listen to what I'm telling you. And if you're a mother and you're a wife, it's important for you also listen because I'm telling you now. About fishing, about skiing. People go vacation. Winter, what is it called? Winter break or yeshiva week, winter session. Whatever you want to say, bottom line is vacation. I don't care what it is. All right? It's a vacation. Now I remember when I was in elementary school, the boys were talking, where you going, where you going, where you going? Everybody had a different item, you know what I'm saying? The guy who went to the craziest place, you got the trophy, sick. Oh, you go back home now, we should have went there, What happened? So this guy in our class says he went skiing. I said, are you wild? You know how cold it is? I remember I went skiing, I know how it is. You go to the freezing cold weather, by the way, you're freezing, you go colder than wherever you are. You go even colder. You go on a mountain. You freeze yourself until the actual, cable car. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody ever go skiing over here? You go on a cable car. Your legs are swinging down. You're freezing. You're putting your muffins and this, that, whatever, the earmuffs and this. And all of a sudden, after 20 minutes, you go up to the thing. You go up to the mountain. And you're sliding down. Sometimes you hurt yourself. Sometimes you hit your head. This, that. And the guy goes up again and does the same thing. I don't understand what's going on. Like, hello, you there? This is your vacation? This is a vacation? Come on, think of the vacation. This is a vacation? Then you have another guy. He tells me, what? That was one guy. The other guy, what did he do? Oh, he went fishing. Oh, really? How do you go fishing? What's fishing? They go on a boat. They get a pail. They get some bait. And what do? They put on the bait a hook. And they throw the fishing rod in the thing. And they're waiting, and they're waiting, and they're waiting, and they're waiting, and oh God, they got the fish! Oh, they're working so hard. They call it a big blue fin, whatever they pull. Everybody's going crazy. I got him, we got him. Pictures. You know how much hard work that is? That's your vacation. You know how hard work? And even if a guy is going to sit by a pool, you know how hard that work is also? You got to get the kids ready. You got to get the towels, or maybe not the towels. You got to pack up food. You know how hard it is to go on a vacation with kids? You got to pack up the luggages. Go look. Go. Pukazi, go see how hard it is. But yet, people do it menuha. It's the menuha. It's the vacation. So we have to redefine what a vacation is. And you know what a vacation is? It's something that you love to do. You love skiing so much that you don't care. He has a friend, by the way. Every Sunday he goes. Saturday night, he has a friend. Every Saturday night, where are you? He's in another mountain, this mountain, that mountain. Every Sunday we don't see him. He's Sunday was supposed to be. We have a class Sunday. I was like, where is this guy? Oh, once it's winter, he goes to this mountain, that mountain, that mountain. How many hours does he drive? 8 hours. Hear that? 8 hours to go on a mountain to go, and he freezes. He's putting his thing, you see his thing. He's going ready. He has the camera also, he has the pro. What is the camera pro? What is it? GoPro. He has the GoPro and he's going, is that? And he said, 8 hours? You would drive 8 hours for a vacation? You would drive? You know what the answer? Something that you love so much, it's not hard. It's vacation. It's vacation. You know that time when you're going to Israel? It's a 10-hour flight. But you're going to Israel. You're excited. You can't sleep the night before, but you're sitting on a plane for 10 hours. Something that I love to do is my vacation. That's exactly what Yisachar is teaching us. I saw menucha. What's good? I saw Torah was so beautiful. That's my vacation. That is my menucha. My menucha is when I sit behind a daf of Gemara, or when I sit behind the Chumash, or when I sit behind Mishnayot or Musar, and I learn. That's my vacation. And that's what he's saying. No matter, even though everywhere it says, you have to be Tamei Acham, you have to learn, you have to bust your head on the Gemara. You know how hard it is, back and forth. But guess what? If I love to do it, that's my vacation. That's my vacation. You know what I have to read this to you. It says over here, he says something amazing in the Pirkei Avot. He says, Ayen beruach hachayim. Pirkei Avot, Perek Vav, Mishnah Aleph. I want to read what he says. What you have to learn, I'm telling you a secret, because people sometimes, they say, Rabbi, how do you gain the sweetness of Torah? And if you're a mother and your wife, teach your husbands this, you teach your son this. This is the way it is. And if you're listening, man, this is the way you're going to make it happen. When you're learning, you got to put your full effort. When you're learning, you got to put your full effort as much as you can. And the more you learn, the more you're going to love it. You heard that? Uba'ava. You see that you love it so much, you're going to get onto the level where it's time to go to sleep. Oh man, I got to go to sleep now. It's going to come for lunch. Oh man, I got to go to lunch now. I got to eat now. Oh man, I'm in the middle of sugya. I can't go. Oh, but I got to eat. All right, let me go eat. That's the level you'll get to. But how do you get there? By working hard when you get actually in the Gemara. A lot of people says, Rabbi, how do I enjoy the Gemara? There's a secret right here. From Yisachar, he saw Menucha was good. What does it mean he saw Menucha was good? And then he put on the all. He saw what's the best vacation? The best vacation is when I'm in the Gemara, when I'm learning. How? What are you going to do? You got to work hard and harder and harder, and you'll see it. My Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Ben Eliel, he would come twice a year to Mikdash Melech, because he was in Brooklyn. There was a yeshiva in Brooklyn, and he would come to Mikdash Melech in Israel. And every single year, he would quote this Orah Hayim. I knew before, the first year guys, the first time hearing it, I told them before, I'm going to tell you what the rabbi is going to say. And I told them, and I was right. Like, wow, you have Ruach HaKodesh. I'm like, yes, I have Ruach HaKodesh. Well, I'm just saying, what did he say? This is what he said every year. You ready? Listen to what he says. I want to read you these words. Listen. You have to hear this, Eddie. Listen to this, please. Listen to this. I'm finishing off with this. Im hayu bnei Adam margishim metikut v'arvut tova Torah. If people would taste the sweetness of the Torah, hayu mishtageim umedla'atim ahareh. They would go crazy after the Torah. Ve'lo yachshov b'neihem malei olam kesef ve'zahav me'umah. They wouldn't even, like you know when it comes to money, wow, parnasah, flus, money, they'll be like, Monopoly money. This is Monopoly, you're playing Monopoly money. You guys, you're missing out over here. Go to the Torah, baby. Torah is the best. You'd go wild over it that you wouldn't be able to, because the Torah has in it everything. And if you do it, you will get everything. You know what it says? Chacham Ovadia Yosef used to say this. He would say, Orech yamim b'mina, b'smola, osher v'kavod. And he said about himself, when he was younger, I heard him say this. He started learning when he was learning Torah. He said, if you knew how poor, they were stale bread and water. But that's what they did. They had a little bit of water, some maybe tomato. But when they were younger, not married, they didn't know what they have. He kept on learning. And Hashem blessed him with wealth, with honor, and long life. And he would say the Torah is emet. You want to learn the Torah? You want beracha for you and your whole entire family? Guess what? It will happen. Take some patience. It will happen. How many yeshiva guys that I know that was in Mikdash with me, learning with me, when they came back, the whole family got beracha. All of a sudden, shidduchim started opening. He came back from yeshiva, another year. When he came back, his father would say, oh, wow, you know, from the time you came to when he was learning yeshiva for a few years. He says, the time you started yeshiva, before that he wasn't in yeshiva, the time you started yeshiva till you left, every year I got more beracha. You bring beracha to the entire family. That's what it is. But how are you supposed to learn it? Harabotai, you have to learn it with your full effort. You have to put your effort in it. You got to put your effort in it. And therefore, Harabotai, I want to finish with this. The greatest pleasure that you could have in life is it. You know, I'm going to finish with this. The Hazon Ish says, there's a Pirkei Avot that says, remember the Pirkei Avot? The Perek Vav. It says, no. It says, you'll finish it off for me. Pat b'melech tochal, mayim, mezurah tishteh, al haaretz tishan, hayeh tzar teheh, ub'torah ta'amel, ואם אתה עושה כן, אשריך בעולם הזה ואת העולם הבא. What does that even mean? There's a Sefer Tenival who explains, even if a person has nothing in his life except bread and water, and he has to sleep on the floor, no mattress, but he learns Torah with his full kawach, he said he'll have the greatest life in this world and the next. Hazon Ish says, that's why Pirkei Avot says, V'im atah osekin. There's no extra words. What does it mean, atah osekin? Because you'll never believe it unless you tried it. Meaning to say, if you try learning Torah with your full effort, try it for a week straight. A week straight, give it a week straight. If you're learning in yeshiva, you're learning in kollel, wherever you're learning at nights, you're learning in the morning. When you get in the morning and first say it's 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or at nights 8 to 9, tell us to your husbands if you're married, go ahead and put your full effort in the sugya. And you'll come out a whole different person. You come out a whole different one. You finally start tasting the sweetness of Torah. Why? Torah, you ever take a pistachio? You ever take a pistachio? You ever take a pistachio? Right? When you eat a pistachio, what do you have to do? You ever have a hard pistachio to cut? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Leo, you ever have a hard pistachio to cut? It's hard. But the second you open it up and you eat it, hadid, it's pleasurable. Torah, you gotta crack it. You gotta crack into the sugya. You gotta go in full force, the sugya. You gotta do it. You gotta put your full effort. And when you do it, you'll see that sweetness is gonna come out. So Hashem shall have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right.